It is the night before the dyno. And look who showed up. Did you miss the big block, man?
Yeah.
Yep, good answer. Anyway, so last time we were on the dyno, we had some issues with spark and we had to use the very technical feeler gauge to reset the spark gap, and the spark plugs were about 50 million years old, or 50 million kilometres old. So we've got some copper, what are these?
LFR 7As.
Why are we using these? They're long, dude.
They're cheap.
They're really long. They don't look like a normal spark plug.
That's because they're F.
LF.
So
L, let's say L stands for long.
New motors all got that.
Got longer spark plug thingies.
Yeah.
So we had 6s in there. These are 7s, so a range colder might help. Don't know. Will it help?
Yep.
Yep, it's going to help. So we're going to stick these in, gap them down. There's a few other little things we have to do, like the wideband wiring, and the shifter just falls out of your hand, which is not ideal when you're smashing gears on the dyno. So we might fix that. And we probably won't fix anything else. We'll probably just go to the dyno and cross our fingers like we always do.
In exchange for a chicken burger and a lemon squash, Woody has offered to change the haggard old spark plugs for some shiny new ones.
So my good friend Woody has sorted out our spark plugs, so hopefully we're not going to have ignition system dramas. The next step is to fix this. Now, the shifter's awesome, but the actual short shift kit, I think it was an eBay special and it sort of fell apart within the first 10 minutes of use, so might just be going back to the original one or trying to find all the stuff that fell out of it, which is probably buried in the car somewhere. So I'm going to fix this shifter, and then we're going to fix the wideband wiring, and then we're going to put it on a car trailer and take it to Haltech.
Turns out the shifter is the same mechanism that Evos right up to Evo 9s use, so there's heaps of aftermarket options. But for today, the original chopped down one will have to suffice. The old reliable shifter is back in and working great, but not everyone is happy with the choice of knob.
What are you talking about? It finishes it off. This is important, dude.
It ruins it.
It doesn't ruin it. It's the driving experience of going, I'm in an X-Sex spec show car, check out my mad knob.
X. That's the whole point.
I can't keep it?
No.
It's
ridiculous. Look at it.
It's awesome, look at it. You know you can put a little light at the bottom so it lights up?
Completely unimpressed by my new shifter, Al and I move on to chasing down some electrical gremlins.
So while Alan's here, we're going to pull the loom out because something funny was going on with our wideband we noticed when we dynoed it last time. And we want to get to the bottom of it so we can wire it all in properly and it's all switched and happy. It's pretty easy just to pull it back through the firewall. So we're going to pull all this tape and stuff off, do a bit of probing and troubleshooting, and then throw it all back together and drive it.
You love wiring, don't you, Al?
I don't mind it.
You like it the first time more than the second time though, is that right?
I just want to know why it doesn't work.
It looks good.
Someone's to blame.
Yeah. It was just doing weird
Might
stuff.
be me.
It was just doing weird stuff. Plus also, like, that's the thing, like when you pull this, even when you pull this through the firewall, like there's so much strain and stuff going on. And we're going to fix this too, aren't we? This little trigger wire.
On the dyno, our wideband circuit was dropping in and out, which is not mad. By checking continuity on all the wires and confirming it has a solid power and ground, we can get the ECU back in, check it works, and then call it a night.
We are on our way to the dyno. In the Lone Ranger, two sexies loaded up, Woody's in the back, Alan's in the front. Like everyone's come to spectate the Rodney exiting the building, but he's not going to.
How many rods are coming out, Marty?
Dude, no rods are coming out. The rods are staying in the engine, the rods are strong. I mean, they don't look very strong.
but let's just pretend that they are strong. And what did Twisted make? 223?
Yeah.
Something like that. So we need to make 224 kilowatts and then we can just go home.
We actually don't even need to make that because it'll still beat it.
It's all about the dyno figures, man.
Okay.
You got to be the dyno
To
queen.
win the dyno race we do, but not to win the actual race.
That's true. And we do have a very big power to weight advantage, but that's of no advantage on a dyno, funnily enough. So we're on our way to Haltech, and I'm pretty excited. Are we doing this, Scotty? Are we doing this?
We're doing it.
We're going to see what happens, man.
It's taken a while.
We're here, finally.
It took a proper 4G to kick your ass
Come on,
before you
man.
actually put a clutch in the
Come
thing
on,
and got
man.
sorted.
By the end of today, we'll know what the proper 4G is because we'll see the internals of my engine on your dyno, or we'll make more power.
It's not gonna happen, don't worry.
Man, this one's
You're,
alright.
you're keen though, aren't you?
Got a real diff.
Yeah. Real clutch, real diff, new flywheel, bit of a once over. We fixed that wideband issue. We sorted everything.
It's gonna be done before morning coffee, I reckon.
Yeah, man, let's go.
Run it up, that's the end.
Let's go.
You gotta be positive, Martin. You can't
I am positive.
say that the rod's gonna come out.
He said it's not a proper 4G, dude.
It's gonna be fine, dude.
It's gonna be mad.
Sweet. But my money's on Twisted, I reckon.
Come on, dude. So I'm going to survey some of the legends at Haltech and find out whether they think Twisted or Too Sexy is going to be victorious. And if they have the right answer, I'm going to give them a pack of playing cards. Have you been watching? Who's been watching Twisted and Too Sexy? Who's going to win?
I reckon the Too Sexy.
Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Too Sexy or Twisted? The real Evo? Okay. Who's going to win?
Too Sexy.
My man. My man. You can say Twisted and I'll still give you some cards. Twisted, right? You're a proper Evo fan, like I can tell from this. We drove one of those the other day. It was auto.
Yeah. It's Twisted.
Yay, my man. Still the right answer.
I'm gonna go for Twisted.
That's okay. You can still be one of these.
Legitimate Evo owner.
Oh, really? Legit Evo owner. What kind of Evo? Oh, dude, give us a look. Oh man, that's proper.
Yeah.
How good is that? I wish my Evo looked like that.
I'm gonna have to say Twisted because 4G power.
Dude, mine's a 4G.
Oh really?
4G
I
60.
thought it was the Lancer motor.
4G 69.
The original Too Sexy.
My man.
And also got the same IDs. And then you can change it in the software to whatever you want.
This is exciting, isn't it, Alan?
It is.
It is exciting. You know what else is exciting? Dynoing Lancers. We should count up the ones that you've tuned, man.
Oh,
Tune that.
look at that one. The joke.
No.
The joke.
That's Jack, dude. There is jokers in there, though.
It's close.
No. Yes. You like that
Let
one?
me say that one's good. I drove that home for a while. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Less cool because
No.
it fit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tune that.
Had that. We had that for a while as well, I think.
Yeah. Tune that. No.
No.
Dale tuned that one because you went in America.
That was the States.
No. Japan. Yes.
Yeah.
Stagia.
It's nice. That's a nice picture, actually. That
That is
one.
very cool, eh? Yeah, Taylor Drift,
Yeah.
I think. Mod Max. No, but we need
that's a stock car?
to do something with that. Yep.
Cressy.
Cresta. Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Super
Dude,
good.
you are all through the top
Look
of this
at this.
card pack.
The joke is the laser.
Yeah, TRD Laser, man. And the Civic that wasn't a proper Civic.
Yeah, right. Oh, they're terrific. That's really good.
Yeah, man.
And I think I've pretty much got all the high cards.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
It's worth mentioning these guys don't have a lot of time today. They've squeezed me in. So we cannot mess around or spend too much time talking about Hondas and other important stuff. We just got to get this thing on the dyno, get a number, get it tuned, get it happy, and get out of here. Alright, so the question is it going to be cylinder 1 2, 3, or 4 that releases the Rodney. And if it does, we're going to cross it out. And if it doesn't, we're going to give Rodney a big old tick for staying in there and being well behaved.
It sounds good. It smells nice.
Yep.
So there's no weird engine stuff going on.
No. We fixed some wiring last night. We put an LSD in it, put a light and flywheel in it, put a new clutch in it. And that package is good up to 300 kilowatts, which we know doesn't always mean it's actually going to do 300 kilowatts, but even if it does 200, that's better than what we got to before, which was about 130 or 150, but the numbers are a bit all over the place.
Yeah, it was we were showing 130, but the motor is definitely making more than that, but it was going out the side in clutch dust.
And it was, because when I pulled the clutch out, it's just a train load of brake material just fell out.
And the video later, oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty bad. So this might not actually take all that long, assuming nothing falls out of it. We've also put some new spark plugs in it, gapped them down.
Yep. Did you just bang them down, or did you do it properly?
No, Woody did it properly because he's a real mechanic. I don't think there's anything to do. I think we just turn it up.
Run it up. Clutch, do you want to do anything about the clutch while it's on the dyno to bed it or do something like that?
We're supposed to drive it a bit, so it might make sense just to drive it around.
Okay, we'll just turn the radio on and we'll just cruise it for a bit.
I don't have a radio. Twisted does. I know, man. I know, and this is an actual thing that Twisted.
Did all of the budget go into that other stereo?
It might have. Twisted made 223, 3. I feel like it was 223. 299 horsepower. I know it was definitely that.
Yeah.
So we need to make 300 horsepower to win the dyno challenge.
If it makes like 298, I don't really know if I'd be that inspired to like keep on pushing to make.
You got to be Switzerland, dude. You have to be Switzerland. You like 4Gs? It's a 4G. It is a 4G 60.
I think because they got lazy with the naming is about all.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah, probably.
All right, but
should it be called a Ford?
For today, you are happy to be Switzerland. It makes what it makes.
We do want to make the most power we can make. Just it doesn't matter what it is.
Yes.
So
and it might throw a rod out, put a leg out of bed, as they say.
I'm keen on that. If it does, can I finally get one of those stickers?
Yeah, I'll give you a Rodney sticker.
Yeah, all right.
Well, I've got a couple of Rodney stickers on the back, and we're going to cross out whichever rod comes out. Shall we do it?
All right, let's do it.
Bad. Oh, man, I need a seat. Hey, I mean, I've got one in the form of your dyno installation, which is quite comfortable. And also, I did give you some interior. Did you notice?
Oh, it's back.
A little bit of plastic. The shifter's fixed. It's still got this ridiculous shift knob, but...
That's right, we had a few linkage dramas, but it's all... Yeah, it feels nice.
The linkage dramas are sorted.
No cowhide in sight.
No cowhide, I know.
Isn't it like the exact opposite? No roof lining.
Nothing.
The other one's got like a faux roof lining so that it can fit the downlights.
I know.
In the back of this, like literally nothing.
No.
Whereas the other one has got like the original plus all of the cows.
It's a completely different thing. And it is worth mentioning that when this was a spec show car, because it was, it wasn't done nearly as well as Twisted. Like it was done really basic, basic version of. Twisted is next level. So, if any of them is going to be turned into a track car, it would be this one.
I normally, as soon as we start, I normally clear everything because if you've been playing with the battery and mucking around, you probably will get some codes. So we'll clear everything.
Starts nicely.
Starts good. One thing I'll give you on this engine over any Evo, it definitely has a more powerful starter motor.
Yeah, it's a brand new starter motor too.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah.
The noise it makes, you just think,
sounds solid.
This will probably start. Yep, we're into engine protection because we don't have a pressure sensor.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Running without an oil pressure sensor. Look out.
Living on the edge.
Living on the edge, man. Of the Econobox 4-cylinder engine that Mitsubishi put in everything from Outlanders to Chryslers to Mitsubishi Lancers.
But I suppose you don't really need an oil pressure sensor if you know it's never going to run out of oil pressure, do you?
That's never going to run out of oil pressure, man, until the rod comes out. That sounds good.
It does, doesn't it?
Going for a drive? Yeah, lights work now too if you give it one click on the store.
Oh yeah, we away?
Just one, there you go.
Nice.
I fixed that too. Not that it tells you speed or anything of interest.
So what are you thinking for clutch? This is...
Oh, we just drive it a bit, I've never done a clutch like that before, so I don't know. Yeah, it's done to the ball.
that smell now is just hands-on stuff.
Yeah. Oil and cleaning fluid and stuff.
So we'll do a couple of...
Yeah, that's driving.
Oh, that's driving. That's fucking bad.
That sounds so good.
It never gets old, though. That noise is a...
Yeah, we're gonna do a run.
See what happens.
All right, we're gonna do a run. This is it.
So we're gonna start my logging, full throttle.
Here we go. Ah, nervous. That sounded pretty good, man. Holy we just made 232 kilowatts. We just smashed Twisted out of the park. Not even a little bit. You didn't even tune it. I mean, you did. I mean, you didn't tweak it. You just... That was from last time.
Let's have a look at this.
It just made 232 kilowatts. It just made 232 kilowatts.
Straight off the bat, how's that?
First run. That just eclipsed Twisted, dude, on its first run. He didn't even do anything. I mean, he did last time a lot.
Because it's got a proper 4G in it.
Dude, don't start with the proper 4G stuff. He'll get upset. We don't want to upset Scotty right now. How did that look, man? Did it look good?
Put another 10 PSI in it.
Another 10 pounds. That was on wastegate pressure, I might add. 232.6, 311.9 horsepower. This is going to be a monster. This is going to have some serious traction issues.
So that was 7,700 RPM.
Whoa, that's a big rev.
And it's, yeah, call it 15 pounds.
Right.
Would be where we're at.
So there's no boost control happening, really?
Not yet. So it will make more down low.
Jeez.
We're just
assuming the rods can take it.
Yeah.
That's where the rods don't like it, do they? Down low.
Normally.
So we're going home then? No, we're not going home yet, are we, Scotty?
No.
No. Well, we've smashed Twisted out of the park, and if this engine blows, we can go to the wreckers and for $200 buy another one and just make another 230 kilowatts. Maybe we'll make 231 kilowatts. That way it'll just last forever. That's the theory.
So, what are you thinking, Al? Do you want me to leave a bit of the boost out of it down low, or you just want to put it in and make as much as we can everywhere? Or do you think it needs revs before we can give it the oomph?
Probably.
It probably needs some revs.
Depends on whether Martin wants to clean up the dyno or not.
Oh, we've got people for that.
Cool, we'll just page up.
Page up.
Well, why would you put all of this effort into this?
Yeah. And
Full electronic boost control. We're not out of anything yet. Why would you take it off now?
How did our fuel system go?
So, I'll show you here.
What was our duty cycle?
It's because of the forward manifold.
It's because of the banana manifold, dude.
I told you.
So,
The
we are...
manifold's awesome.
It's lying a little bit because it does say that we're at a higher injector duty.
Yes.
But which is like 95 and 98. But up the top, we can afford for it to be a little bit leaner.
Okay.
So
quite
while
fat
it
up there.
says that we've got less injector, we've got a lot of headroom. So I'm going to just tidy the mixtures up just a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll try and put a little bit of boost in it up the top, and we'll just clean it up.
Sure.
Give it another run to prove that that wasn't one pull and it was just magic.
Yeah.
I'm going to slow the ramp rate down a little bit, so it's going to be more. So when we do the run on the dyno, we'll let out less meters per second, meaning that the run's going to take longer.
Yep.
So that'll simulate like real world conditions.
Yep.
So we'll do a couple of pulls like that just to prove that it wasn't a one-hit wonder.
Yep.
And then we might even put some timing in it as well.
Keep
and
an
just
eye
see
on
if we can get the big number.
our temperature.
Our temperature has been good on there, on the dash, and up here we've been in the high 90s the whole time.
Okay. More boost this time or no more boost?
Gonna leave it the same. We'll do a couple of runs just to prove that it's happy here.
It wasn't a fluke.
Then we'll start, because you can't really tune it unless we know the baseline. We can't really do anything.
Yeah.
So if we put timing in it,
Yep.
we don't know if it's going to improve just off one run. So we need to get a bit intimate with it, start to know what
let's see what it
it's
happens.
doing.
See what happens, man. It's still proving itself. Do we need more fans on?
So the fan comes on at 60, but we can also
does it? Automatically.
yeah, all water.
Oh, man.
Much easier, eh? All right. Start logging. Coming up. Full throttle. Go.
That felt weird.
So we've just taken on
It felt funny.
Yeah.
Through my feet.
a bit vibraty or something.
Yeah. Do you think our ignition system is happy?
So far, hasn't not a single misfire, not a little, not even a hint.
Which
So,
is impressive for those factory coils to be keeping up.
Yeah.
Just with and a brand new set of plugs, which also goes to show that those last set of plugs they'd had it.
They had. They'd never come out of the engine,
Probably
surely.
not.
Yeah, they had some significant electrode wear on them.
Yeah.
All right, so all we're going to do is put 2 degrees of timing in it, and this will give us an idea of if it's making, if our ignition map is in the ballpark. I'm hoping it makes a tiny bit of power. If
Okay.
it does, I can say, yep, I was. Last time we were on it, we were on the ballpark, and we were pretty happy.
Sure. Nothing's fallen out yet,
Sounds amazing.
but it's early days still.
Up, full throttle.
Here we go.
Go.
Interesting jagged thing, isn't it?
Hey.
Interesting little jagged line there. It made some power.
Made some power up the top, so that means it wants more timing up the top,
Really?
and that's what we'll give it. But our mixtures, everything there is kind of, yep, that's what we're doing.
Looks really smooth.
What we did talk about before, how it's sort of a bit weird to not put any boost control
Oh, the boost is going in.
in it. Is that alright, Al? What do you reckon if we just put like a little bit of bleed down low so that it,
So that it's more brutal than it already is.
yeah, so it makes the noise rather than the power. We want the noise, and that might come along with an extra 30 or 40 kilowatts in the mid-range.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Sounds alright.
He said it's all right. Let's do it.
Alright.
Not the tuner.
Alan approved. Yeah, but you got to help me pull this engine out, dude. When it lets go.
engine and gearbox.
It's a $400 engine. That's quite correct.
So does that mean we should be dodgier or not dodgier?
Less dodgy.
Oh,
We should always be less dodgy.
Because it's not much to replace.
But if it's a super expensive engine,
Yeah.
should we be dodgy then?
Yes.
No, because it's costs more to replace.
This doesn't make any sense.
Just don't overthink it.
Not being
And let's-
dodgy, just push it until it breaks and then you know how far to go next time.
Then we knock like 2 pounds out of it.
I just spent like a week pulling
That's
that
the gearbox,
gearbox.
it
I
won't
know.
break.
Come on, man.
As long as the block doesn't break at the back, break the gearbox.
Jeez.
Stop talking.
All right. We're going to put a little bit less then after this.
A little bit.
We'll just put
That's what I like to see. Did you just add 70% duty cycle?
only down low. So what we
Oh,
normally
only
do
down
is
low.
when you give it a hit from vacuum or where an aspirator car normally is, up until about 5 or 10
You're
pounds.
just asking it to.
As
get
much
it on.
air as we can get in it.
Yep.
Then as it gets past that bit, and that's what gives you that real nice kick.
Yeah, cool.
But the outright power number stays the same
Yes.
because we're only putting it in the mid-range and not at the top.
Great. And mid-range is where you break rods. Let's do this.
All right. I'll let you press the space bar this time because it might be the last time.
Dude, you can't say that. Tell me when.
Whenever you're ready. Look at Al out there. Every run he's singing, what's going on?
He's keen.
What's going on?
He wants to know. He wants to know.
Sounds good.
It sounds good. Alan approves of the noise.
The turbo, you watch it, you can see the actuator and it lifts up about that far.
Oh, really? Yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah?
That's good. That means it's working.
The last run was a bit weird because we agreed to disagree to agree to put a tiny little bit more boost in it to kind of
Yeah, get it on. You get it on early, right?
get it on early, push our luck a little
Make
bit.
the sound.
But it made less power.
Yeah.
So the previous run made, give or take, let's sort of say about 220 kilowatts.
Yep.
Then with a bit more boost, I made 205 kilowatts
Yeah,
at the
okay.
wheels.
Okay.
So I've come back into this screen here, an analyze screen, and you can actually see the shape here.
Yeah.
How the more power we make, the more the RPM's creeping up, but the wheel speed stays the same. So we've got two options. It's either it's wheel spinning on the dyno,
Yep.
but that's not happening because we can't see it, we can't smell it.
Yep.
It's got pretty decent tyres on it, and it's making the dyno is well easy, can handle this amount of power. So it's going to be the clutch,
Right.
which I don't want to blame the clutch just yet because you said it's only brand new.
It's brand new, and because the car, because I can only get like either a very short unregistered vehicle permit or
Yeah.
drive it on a closed road.
Yeah.
You know, they say to bet a clutch in for, you know, between 100 and 400 Ks.
Yeah.
Not actually possible. Like, we can bet it in a bit on the dyno as we did earlier, but you also can't afford to spend 10 hours driving your clutch around. So, I mean, we have seen this before with new clutches. In terms of the power level of this clutch, like, it's not a twin plate, and it's pretty chunky, and it looks like it's fit for purpose. I think it might have been rated to 300 horsepower, which is what we made. So there's also the chance that as we push past 300 horsepower, the clutch is just, it's literally not rated for that kind of power. But at the same time, we can also, I assume now we can just spend a bit more time, let it cool down, bed it in the kit, and try again and see what happens.
Yeah.
And if it slips, it slips, but up to that 300 horsepower, really it should do the job. Assuming we haven't completely burnt the shit out of it, but I don't think we have.
Well, we didn't get any smell in the
No.
car, like that fun smell. So I think we should probably we'll cruise it a little bit now. We'll go back through and check the tune the whole way back.
Yep.
We'll sit down and hang out for 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and give it another run.
And call it a day.
And I reckon
Fantastic.
that's it.
All right.
And it'll make 298 horsepower.
It'll make 301 horsepower.
298 coming up. Let's go back to we'll never miss a gear, so you have to do every gear. We're in fourth now. Second. So you got to go third, then second.
Oh, okay.
Third. Second. All right. Forward. Third. Fourth. Fifth.
I don't like this game.
Back to fourth.
I'm done. You know why I don't like this game? I'm pretty sure that's how I killed the last motor. Oh, no. Also, shifting with your right hand's really weird.
Fourth. Back to reverse.
You do it. Nah, you do it. Feeling good?
You're right.
Yeah, let's go. That seemed fairly solid. They're getting back up near the numbers. I did predict that Twister and 260 would make very similar power, based on the fact their fuel systems are almost identical.
So, what's Al saying over there?
I think he was spitting a bit at me, but it's not
Spitting a bit of-
smoking or anything. Like, it's just soft.
It's just that style of tyre on that roller, and it is what it is.
Yep, just cheese gratering the tyre.
Yeah, no smoking.
Alright, cool, thanks man. Sorry clutch, but you're gonna have a bad day. Feels engages well, doesn't it? Yeah. Just can't handle it up top.
I'm just doing this just to try and
Yeah, do it.
start logging, full throttle, go. Same, so that's pretty cool.
That's a good thing.
Save that one. I'm not even going to look at the log because it's the same.
Great, let's go.
No mucking around.
Let's go.
Full throttle, go.
Lost a little bit up top, didn't we? Just a little bit.
Yeah, lost a little bit up top.
Our temp's good too, isn't it? Our actual
Yeah.
forward temp seems happy.
Yeah. We're at 102, but it recovers straight away. It'll come
Yeah.
straight back. The tyre.
Tyre.
295 is the no bullshit number that it wants to have.
Come on, man. No, dude. That's what.
I didn't even read
Are you
it.
saying our first number was incorrect?
You don't believe it?
wasn't. I'm sure that if we let everything cool down, like overnight, so your overnight number can be whatever it is.
Whoa! That's tyres, man.
It must be from Sylvia. It's not what moderate.
No, I know what that's from.
Tyres all over the place.
So we're definitely giving it a hard time.
So you're putting more boost in there?
Man, 220 over and over, and you've been around a dyno long enough to know that you make more and more and more.
Yeah, no,
and then a bit less,
I get it.
and then a bit less, and then you work so hard for that tiny amount.
Now put 3 more pound in.
Well, see, we were just having this chat. Alan's saying put 3 more pounds in. We've been down this road with Supergrams as well. Supergrams make 280 something kilowatts. I don't drive it at 280. I drive it at 270 or 268 or something because it's the same thing. That's what we decided is like, yes, it can make that bulk power, but what do you think is the correct number? And you think the correct number here is 220.
I think it
which
makes...
means it's chopped by Twisted. Is it though? Because it did make more power than Twisted, but it's also not making more power than Twisted, so maybe it remains a mystery.
If we sit this thing for an hour,
and then hit it again.
The cool down temperature will be 310 or something.
Yeah, cool. So you pick up
But
another...
then if we do that, we have to get Twisted back, and then we have to let it cool down and do that number,
well,
which will be 311.
What I predicted is correct. They make basically the same power within a few kilowatts of each other because the setup is so similar in terms of fuel system, engine size, 4-cylinder, turbos, all that stuff.
The boost pressure, everything, and the reality, yes, the number is a tiny bit different, but the if you wanted to race two cars in like in a parody style
same
event,
tyres, same weight, same
plus
everything.
or minus 5 horsepower, you're doing pretty well to say these cars have the same power.
Yeah, and you were saying as well that we're getting close to our fuel system limit also.
We are.
So it's a 300 horsepower fuel system and a 300 horsepower clutch, and guess what gave up? Both of those things.
And it's, so this is pump.
Yep.
So this has got a 300-ish horsepower pump.
Around that.
We're on ethanol, and it's the same as the other car. It's the same with the same shape in the fuel maps.
Great.
So,
well, I mean, to be honest, man, that makes it even better.
Man, down to the
the
driver or the better car.
We got 2 cars that are basically the same.
How much does an Evo motor cost?
How much does an Evo motor cost? We're not putting an Evo motor in this. We've got an Evo motor.
I would say don't worry about the motor.
This one costs $200.
Oh yeah.
What about the actual?
This is 10 times less.
What about the drivetrain? One of those
he's saying this.
It was $400 for the engine and gearbox.
Yeah, but wasn't another car $50 at some stage?
Yeah, 500.
500,
but
sorry.
he paid $4,000 for it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
this just makes the story better. We can sit here and talk all day, and you might want to watch it, but guess what? It's lunchtime and it's time to go home. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for coming on this adventure, and we'll see you later.
And I would have paid $4,000 for the stereo in the other car.
Would you? Me too. The stereo's sick.
So I reckon that car was free.
That stereo's so good. Thanks, Scotty. Feels good. It's going to be fast. Now we just wait for some challenges.